Hi there, and welcome back to the channel. So, I'm really excited and happy about the track yesterday. I feel like the rhythm track happened, and so I got in here to do the lead track, and was just kind of warming up and getting everything right. And I ripped one off, and it just worked. So I've already got a take, but I'm going to try to beat it on camera. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'll at least be able to show you what the part is. You know, what went down with the recording. I did not intend to get a keeper take, but man, it's like hard to pass up because I turn it on so that the feedback starts at the beginning. I play the part, and then I do this like meow, meow, you know, for the rest of the time, and all of it just fell together. So, as much as I like to do it on camera, just so that I document the moment, that ain't gonna happen. And I don't think I got the other one on camera either. I did several takes after I turned it off last night to get that perfect. Not perfect, but right. And I listened to it several times on its own just to make sure there's no glitches, you know, isolated. And you know, because that's the real story. You got to listen to it, make sure you're not hiding anything. And then I listened to it with the drums to make sure that those completely sync. You know, that they're in sync with each other. And it feels like a band. It feels like a drummer and a guitar player playing. That's the goal. Next up is to lay this little lead bit down. It's not much of a lead. It's just kind of more of like an excitement moment, like a rhythm lead. Nothing complicated. It's like rhythm. I mean, it's kind of tricky because you have to mute the strings or they ring out in a terrible way. But it's not hard to, you know, execute or anything. It's just trying to get the right vibe. And I've still got a long way to go as a guitar player. So I just keep trying to get better, and I think it's happening because I can tell from the old recordings. That's why I'm re-recording this, because I'm better at recording now and better at playing guitar. Even though it's not up to the standards of most people, I'm personally feeling the improvement. Okay, so let's go through what we're doing here. Just like yesterday, what I did in order to open up two new tracks, all right, because you know on row, I call it row 3, at 17 through 24, I have my drums. So now I'm at 1 through 8. Yesterday, in input 1 and 2, I did the rhythm tracks with these two microphones. Now, I want to move those over so I can do my solo track, you know, I want to have a place to do that. So I'm going to hit swap. I mean, there's multiple ways to do this, but an easy, quick way is to hit swap. I hit swap and I move track 1, and swap is over here by your screen. It's the third button over. You have tempo, which sits on its own. You have another button here, then you have bounce, swap, and transfer. I think that says transfer. I can't see exactly what that says, but mainly over here I use swap. I don't bounce much. So you press swap, you press number 1, and then you press number 3, because that's where I wanted to put it. Then I hit, and that was clear, and then I did number 2 and moved it over to 4. So now 1 and 2 are new takes, and you can look at your track button. If you hit track, you can tell that those are indeed new takes. So next, I'm going to, now I've got my new takes, I'm going to go to Pan EQ and make sure that I'm at 100 on number 1 and 100 on number 2. I want them center panned, even though I'm going to do this. And if I was recording on tape, I would go ahead and pan them out. But it's not necessary with this digital. And then the EQ, no reverb send, no chorus send. Not that I'm against them, I just record dry usually, no effects. If you go to effect, nothing there as well. Okay, I'm in the neck pickup because I want it to bite, the bridge pickup because I want it to bite like the rest of the tune. And the rest of the tune was recorded in the bridge pickup. So that's what we're going to use. It's going to bite kind of Telecaster-y as opposed to like smooth and silky, like away from the Clapton tone and more like an abrasive kind of scrapey tone. Not that he doesn't do that as well, but you know, just like not the warm goodness, but more of the punk rock feel. Okay, just scrapier, I guess is how I describe it. Okay, so amplifier going directly in. I'm at the middle point. Did I turn off? Yeah, I'm at the middle point with the tone. The volume's at 11. We've got the Celestion G12H30 in this side, Alnica Blue on this side. These are in an X pattern. Then over here you have another ceramic, and then over here another Alnico. On the Alnico side, we're going to arraign MS1B to give a little micro boost of voltage. And then on this side, I'm going directly to input 2. I had to crank up the gain a little bit on both of these. This gain is now like at 8, and this gain is at getting close to, it's like fully 2 and getting towards 3. Because it's quieter when you're playing a lead part as opposed to, because it's a couple strings as opposed to playing the whole guitar like a chord. So you gotta have those volume differences in mind. Okay, now I'm going to be playing along obviously to the rhythm guitar track and the drums, and I have a mark so I don't have to sit here and listen to the whole tune obviously. So I've got my mark at 134, and I'm coming in with feedback. Another good reason to record with microphones as opposed to using the built-in effects. If you have an amp and you have the microphones and the ability to pull it off with sound, you have to be in a place where you can make this much noise. But if you can pull it off, you get feedback and you just get more of a live vibe than you get when you're plugging in direct. All right, so I believe in it. All right, so let's just do it a couple times and see if I can beat this one. I seriously doubt it, but at least this way you'll be able to see what the part is like. Okay, anything else to think about? Pan EQ, we're at 100 on our 2 channels. We're at 100 at the master. Let me just check that one more time. Take this, after I go to Pan EQ, I'm going to move it all the way over to 24, and then past that to the master, it's at 100. Now I'll move it all the way back. You can also hit these banks and move it within the banks, but I'm just holding the button down today. And then everything's just checking, make sure before I hit record play that everything's where it needs to be. See if there's anything else I need to tell you that is going on. If you want to use the tuner, you go to Tool, you go to Tuner with your switch here, use it, plug directly into the input, number 1. And then you have to have the track armed, and you have to have your guitar up, obviously. Sometimes you'll be all plugged in and say, why isn't this working? Because you're not doing one of those things. It's a lot of things. All right, so let's see what happens. This baby needs to get out of standby. Yep, it's alive. Here we go. Sorry. Undo that, and I'm going to do a lot of undoing because I don't think I'm going to, unless this is just somehow I luck up and get a better take, I'll be using the one I already did. I had the drums turned off like a dum-dum. Okay, here we go. Made another mistake, just basic stupid. Here we go. Okay, that obviously didn't beat it. Now I'm worried about undoing it, make sure it's still there. Thank God. Okay, here we go. Sorry, it just takes a minute to get in the groove. I was doing pretty well before I turned the camera off. Okay, that was the part, but that sucked. So I'm not going to beat it, but at least you saw the part. Let me just try it a couple more times. Okay, I don't think that beats it, but it was a take and we got through it. So that is the solo bit, and I think it adds, like, some anarchy, some energy. What was I trying to say? Some I don't know, just some abrasive kind of fun energy. And it's like keeps the song going, like on the up. It's fast and just straightforward. That's the whole song is like super straightforward, which is different from what I'm doing right now. I'm doing more stuff in 6/8, more riffy stuff. This is how I used to write every song, was more like this song. So it's been a big jump for me. It's interesting to go back and feel this feeling versus what I'm trying to do now. So you're always in this state of evolving, as a recordist or as a songwriter or guitar player, hopefully. And if you just keep doing stuff, just keep going, it may not seem like it, but there's progress being made, because I go back and listen to the stuff I recorded a year and a half, 2 years ago, and it's just not nearly as good. So even if you first get your Zoom and it's just sounding like, God, this is terrible. Nothing sounds like what I was visualizing. I was visualizing all this wonderful stuff and do my recordings and listen, and it's just like terrible. So, I mean, not terrible, but just underwhelming. Hang with it, because there's so much to extract from the machine. The machine has a lot of little secrets in it, like the mastering mode, doubling things, sometimes using outboard preamps and stuff because of the lack of robustness in the preamps. Just little things, little tweaks, little twists that you'll learn over time. Time in the saddle will give you a lot of rewards. And so I just encourage, just keep trying, keep working at it, keep working on your methods, keep working on your phase, getting your mic's positioned just right. Don't be afraid to adjust a mic and test it, just because you put it that way last time. You got to do a lot of testing and checking, especially with snare mics. So the slightest movement can create a much bigger tone, or like a more thwappy kind of repressed metallic tone, all depending on where the mic is sitting. So these are things that are learned over time, and there will be improvement if you just stick with it. Don't quit, don't give up. The only real thing that I find that's rewarding is process anyway. If you get let down when you get to the finish line, if things don't go the way you want them to. So I like to just enjoy doing things, learning, growing, getting better. So hopefully that's what's happening for everyone else out there with their Zoom machines. They're having like these good experiences, good recordings that sound great, and getting better. That's the main thing, is just getting better each time. Like the recordings just start sounding better and better and better. That's the goal. All right, so if there's anything I can do for anyone out there, if you're struggling with something on the Zoom or any other dumb things I've mentioned on the channel, please don't hesitate to contact me, and I'll see what I can do to help you. All right, next time.